Kanye. Always in the news for some reason or another. Well, this time, I don't think it's really Kanye's issue. And let's dive right into what exactly is happening with Kanye and good old JP Morgan, one of the largest, if not the largest, banking institution in the world. But what happened here is that JP Morgan decided to cut Kanye off, meaning ending their business relationship, saying, hey, back up the Brinks truck, take your money, and go somewhere else. We don't want you as a client anymore, which is almost unprecedented that something like this happens. Now, there was a lot of speculation as to what was going on. And, Kanye had said some things on The Shop with LeBron. That's his show, which they decided not to air because the type of language and the concepts in there were, pretty nasty. From what I read. So I don't know what exactly he said, but that was the gist of it. And so everyone kind of thought that that's why they ended the relationship. But in actuality, it happened before that. And so it's quite interesting. Kanye had made a statement here that, he wanted to end the relationship himself. He said he didn't get access to the CEO of JP Morgan, which is Jamie Dimon, and that Jamie Dimon and others, of his position are holding him back from affecting the American economy the way that he wants to, which is interesting, right? And so he said it's time to go at it alone. And so then JP Morgan comes across and says, hey, look, you know what? You've got 60 days to make that happen. Otherwise, we're going to shut everything down and that's it. And proof of that is actually a letter that was sent to Kanye, or Ye, as I guess he's now officially known, is that closing of our banking relationship. We are sending this letter to confirm our recent discussion that JP Morgan has decided to end its banking relationship with Yeezy LLC and its affiliated entities. And saying that they're going to provide sufficient enough time, so they're going to hold on to the account or make it viable until November 21st of this year. And, they're just suggesting that, hey, stop all transactions from this day forward so that you have no issues to transfer this before we close it out. Okay, so we ask that you act promptly, transfer your business to another financial institution before November 21st, 2020. And this was by JP Morgan and Chase. So look, this is, like I said, it's unprecedented for this to happen. And I think really here, this goes back to centralized authority being able to do what they want when they want. Now, this is not a topic or a video about what was said or, did that have anything to do with what happened? I mean, obviously it happened before, but who knows? We don't know the exact details, right? But the very fact that these institutions, banking institutions, can tell you, hey, just pack up and move out to another financial institution because we no longer want you. I mean, that's crazy, right? Imagine your bank calls you or sends you a letter or an email. No one sends a letter. Sends you an email today or tomorrow and says, hey, look, from this day forward, we don't want you. Go somewhere else. And you'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, where did this even come from? And who gave you the right to even do that? Based on if all he said was, hey, I want access to Jamie Dimon, I didn't get it, I want to cut ties. For them to do and kind of literally start the process of kicking him out. I mean, if they're doing that to Kanye, who are we, right? That could happen to us in a blink of an eye, snap of a finger. And this goes back to having ownership of your finances. And anything that you hold within a bank, anything that you give them control over, it's not yours. This is proven right here. This account of his is not his. It's owned by JP Morgan. And so this is why everyone in the crypto, blockchain, Web3 space is all about owning your own assets, owning your own data as a part of those assets, but also owning your financial freedom. So you own your assets, you own your keys, they're yours, right? You give them up to some third party, they can do what they want. Like tomorrow, JP Morgan can say, hey, look, you know what? We said November 21st, but let's make it November 1st. You're out. Or let's do November 15th. I mean, they can do what they want. Right? That's the point, is they have all the control and you and I don't have any. And it is something that is concerning. And look, we talked about PayPal before. PayPal has already gotten quite a bit of backlash because they were saying that, hey, look, if you say what we don't like, spreading misinformation, which they can deem whatever that is, we're going to slap you with a $2,500 fine for every time you do that. And it's going to come directly out of your account. So now we've gotten these, banking institutions or financial institutions that are doing things of their own accord that's directly tied to your personal account. And I mean, whatever you decide to say, right or wrong, is that supposed to be part of your banking, your financial institution's operations with you? That's the question here. I don't think so. You have your personal side, you've got your banking side, and for them to, intertwine, it's interesting, right? Because I can almost guarantee you, I'm sure there's some unsavory comments or actions being done by current JP Morgan clients or past JP Morgan clients. Definitely in the future. I mean, JP Morgan themselves get slapped with fines left, right, and center doing certain things. So I don't agree with what you say should deem it okay for your banking institution to cut you off. This just shows that you don't have any power. They decide what they want to hear, what they like, what they don't like, and if it's high enough in terms of who it gets to, they'll cut you off. Like I said, if they can do it to Kanye, they can do it to any one of us. So very fascinating. Like I said, it's kind of unprecedented. I myself have not heard of anybody being cut off, preemptively being cut off by the bank themselves, especially someone of, potential net worth or notoriety as Kanye West, or Ye, I guess you call him now, or Yeezy, whatever you call him. But that's just a wake-up call for the rest of us, because if they can do it to him or someone of his stature, I mean, they would gladly do that to us, and no one would even, no one even look twice. So own your assets, own your data, but definitely, I mean, that's a little bit deeper in the crypto space, but definitely when you have Bitcoin, you've got ETH, but especially Bitcoin, that's yours. When you buy these assets, when you invest in them, keep them on your cold wallet, keep them in your storage because they're yours. If you put them on an exchange, that exchange is now no different than JP Morgan, or Bank of America or anything else like that, because they hold your assets and they can do what they choose to do as well. So no difference there. Invest in it, hold it into your own storage, and let's avoid this kind of issue, this kind of control that we give to these central exchanges or central entities, right? That's the whole point of now moving into more Web 2.5 before we get into Web 3, which is where we have full ownership of everything. Okay. Now I mentioned PayPal. If you haven't checked out the video, check it out here. I kind of go over PayPal and other instances, why it's such a big deal about that fine and how it's about ultimate control. So go check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.